Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd, and welcome to the show. We're going to dive right in. I'm not going to mince words, beat around the bush, anything like that. Nope, not in this show. I'm probably going to offend a lot of people, especially some Republicans and the little QAnon people, and I'm sure a whole lot others. But hey, you know what? The truth is the truth, and facts are facts. Lies are lies, falsehoods are falsehoods. There's good and evil. So, take your pick with whatever, how you want. I'm just going to lay this stuff out for you. And I want you to just think about it with logic and reason. Does that make sense? Why could it have been different? Because that's what the whole thing is here. Could things be different? Oh, wrong tab. Oh yeah, that is the right one. And there we go. So I've been busy. Been working my ass off. Been working since what? October 31st. Yeah, I'm working straight through to the 12th. But I'm not tripping. So that's why I haven't been doing very much. But things Trump could have done day one. Just like he signed all those executive orders. He was doing 1 to 5 a day, and then he started overwhelming everybody with executive orders, and then Doge came out, and people kind of lost track of that. So I went to ChatGPT, put in a whole bunch of stuff. I'm just going to run through these, and I'd like some audience participation with you folks. So I want you to leave a comment and tell me what you think, what your thoughts are, if anything should be different. Because, just like Harry Truman said, and God bless him, a horrible president, overwhelmed, I believe, by the intelligence community. But the buck stops here. It stops in the Oval Office, okay? Why do you think they call it the most powerful position in the world? President of the United States of America. Why? Because it's the world's police. That's who we are. And we have an intelligence service that goes with that world police role. And it's the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, DIA, and then you have military intelligence. And those are all compartmentalized. So you just have all these tentacles of all these intelligence agencies that are negotiating with other intelligence agencies to gather intelligence on Americans, domestically and internationally. So I'm giving a lot of thought, about what if? What if he had done this? What if he had done that? And you have to admit to yourself right now that we've got a lot of fluff. I mean, there was a huge tidal wave of people who throughout these past years have pontificated that only if I could get in there and I could run the FBI, I could run the DOJ, I could run the intelligence community, we would make changes. And part of why I'm doing this show and doing this is God bless you. Okay. If you fall in this category, look, accept it, get over the shame and the grief and the anxiety and accept it for what it is. That's all I can tell you. I've done the same thing. I had to eat some crow, and I've done it on my show. Absolutely. I did it with that Scam Anderson J-Boy. Absolutely. Because I'm a man of honor, a man of substance, and a man of truth. So I think about these things. I think about them long and hard because I'm always on, world economics, world activities, what's going on, around the world. Everybody thinks Iraq is, going to revalue their currency in the next day or two. Y'all can go watch the latest interview Tucker Carlson did regarding Christianity, of all things. But during that conversation, his second interview, the gentleman he was speaking to obviously is an attorney, an international attorney, and he's representing the Church of Ukraine, the Christians there. He's also he's the of counsel for the Republic of Congo. He's negotiating with Iraq right now about an American citizen that's in Iraq. So during that conversation, he started talking about Iraq and their current corruption, fraud, Iranian influence. The election is coming up like in a couple days. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So anybody that's selling you wolf tickets, please don't buy them, okay? These people are sick and depraved that continue to prey upon people's hope and faith, their naivety and their gullibility. So I get it. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be wealthy, gain some knowledge, and you'll get that. Wealth doesn't have to be material items or money or anything else. All right. So one of the first things that Trump did, of course, he signed the Stargate AI project, right? We'll get into that, but I just want to run down this list real quick, and then we'll kind of go over everything, and I want to go show you what ChatGPT told me when I just asked it about a balanced budget. Because, the next thing that came out of Trump was the big, beautiful bill. Bill? Congress is issuing a bill? Well, y'all go look up the definition of a bill. You get them in the mail all the time, right? They just bill the taxpayers of America. Not only did they bill the taxpayers of America, we're now $2 more trillion in debt. Oh, yeah. Did y'all miss that? That's what they've done to us in 10 months. Wait till you see what's coming. I told everybody this years ago on this show that the budget was going to accelerate under Trump's next term. I did. So what he should have done, in which we have not had since William Jefferson Clinton. God damn, really? A Democrat? A Clinton? Part of the cabal? Right? Order a balanced budget. Wow. That would have changed a lot. Now ask ChatGPT about it. Do you want me to give you the pros and cons? Hell yeah. I want a before and after look. So we'll get into that. Whoa, lost my tab. So I thought, man, I think that would be a great thing, right? We had the whole Doge team. They were already auditing until they got to the Pentagon. And they were told, don't come back. We don't care who you're working for. Don't come back. You might find yourself a Gitmo. Don't come back. It's our black hole to fund our black, and black projects, and you're not privy to it. Don't come back. So they didn't. So he could have ordered Doge to investigate an unaccounted for $21 trillion, unaccounted for, between the Housing and Urban Development Agency or Department and the Pentagon. That's 2/3 of our national debt, folks. Do I hear anybody say anything? No, I didn't think so. All right. Well, I came up with another good idea. Why don't they pause federal taxes on gas and diesel? And I'm going to show you what that looks like because I asked ChatGPT that. I mean, like, what kind of effect would that have on people? I know it would be great for transportation. There's a lot of money pouring into the government, folks. Just tons and tons of money. And they're just like, where are we at? Greece? Okay. Where are we at? I don't know. That's all right. We got plenty more. What's the next stop? Yemen. Okay, hell yeah. We're bombing them. Throw out some money. Oh, but they do it under the guise of like USAID for nonprofits and stuff like that. But that's basically what it looks like visually. Oh, yeah, we already went over that. Okay, well, let's get back to the files, okay? Because we got the JFK, RFK, MLK, and of course, Trump's old buddy, where there's more photos of Donald Trump and Epstein than there are of me and my daughter. Absolutely. Probably more than you and your mom. Unless y'all live together. Still. Anyway, to release those files, just, hey, you know what? Man, we're tired of keeping these things here. Y'all have at them. WikiLeaks, Wikipedia, y'all can pick up this shit. It's a dead file, right? They're not continuing to investigate who did this. They've already pinned the tails on the donkeys. Now, there's Ghislaine Maxwell, who got convicted of procuring minors for only Jeffrey Epstein. All right. So what's up with that? Wow. There was a lot of hanky-panky shit going on during the Biden administration. And I could have swore I heard James Comer and who's the other cat from Ohio? I'll think of his name in a minute. Where they did all this investigation into the Biden crime family, got these people to come testify in front of Congress, and oh yeah, we found 17 million bribes, and we got all the evidence, and what? What happened to that? You guys got all the guns, all the ammunitions, the jails, the prisons, the probations and paroles, and what? Nothing again. So, could we get him for treason? Yeah, oh, absolutely. Number 7 on this list. If that was my house and the cops found it, I'd be doing a life sentence. Investigate the cocaine found in the White House. Oh boy, God, aren't we just the laughing stock of the world? Nobody's been held accountable for that. How does cocaine get into the White House? You know all the security you got to get to the Oval Office? Oh, investigate the J6 committee. That's number 8. What's up with that? Investigate political. This is politicians insider trading, like a la Nancy Pelosi. Oh, but it's okay if they make money, right? If we do it, we suffer the consequences. Goddamn slaves. All right. Number 10. Ooh, the big Q rumor. Abolish the Fed. Yeah, they're doing a 2.3 billion. This is one facility in one city. Well, it's actually a district, DC, a $2.3 billion remodel for an institution that just creates money out of thin air. Yeah, it's going away. Not anytime soon. Just like they said, the White House. Oh, it's coming to Texas. Y'all remember that conspiracy? As Trump mows down a much, and now they're saying, oh, they're getting in the tunnels. I don't know if you can fix stupid. Is that a thing? Is it doable? Did somebody make a YouTube video for it? If so, y'all send it to me. Well, here's a biggie. Number 11. Order gold, silver backed U.S. currency. Remember we were going to go look in Fort Knox and find all that gold? What gold? We got gold in Fort Knox. Y'all call Elon. Number 12. Oh, and this is just so awesome. Because so many people parrot this over and over and over and over and over again. Ad nauseum. Dissolve the U.S. corporation declaring bankruptcy. Because what company in the world is $37 trillion in debt and still survives? Y'all leave a comment. Tell me what's up with that. Answer that one. I don't know of any. But congratulations to Elon Musk becoming the first trillionaire and by far the richest man in the world. Richest person. Absolutely. And number 13. Wow. An app number for this. Absolutely. Investigate Fauci and Company. Oh, yeah, y'all remember that big fiasco called what was it called? Oh yeah, Operation Warp Speed. And I wished I'd have had time. I wanted to go find that video that Trump enlisted. You know, whether it's real or not, who the hell knows? Was he saying it in jest, or was he actually stating a fact that he was the president this whole time? But he doesn't take credit for what happened during the Biden administration. Huh? How are you president the whole time, but you don't take credit for something you just said you... What? Oh, for all you MAGAs out there, okay? Let me pop your bubble on this. Apparently, Trump thinks you need to go show your ID at the grocery store. I mean, are y'all buying cigarettes, alcohol? Or y'all just using your SNAP card to get some soda waters and junk food? Talk to me. Yeah, Fauci. Remember that guy? The little weasel? Apparently he weaseled his way out of the whole scene, right? Nobody's even talking about it. What was the next big name? P. Diddy. Oh yeah, hey, P. Diddy. And then it was Epstein. And then we had to hear him lie to us about it, right? Oh, there's nothing there. Oh, we really looked. And number 14, and you're going to love this, folks, because it is so true. Scouts honor, even though they kicked me out. For real. Number 14, And this is where I stopped, and I was just like, God, that's a lot. I don't even know if I can cover that in an hour because I have things to do, folks. Number 14, investigate Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson for genocide. Oh, and you want to know why? What's the definition of genocide? Do you know? There's not a number of people. There's not a geographical area of people. It's just a person. I'll use that. A person. That's the proper definition. A person's intent to kill multiple people based on several factors. And let's go see if ChatGPT. Let me go to the top. Oh, no, that's something else. Let's see if this is it. Yep. There's my fuel economy. All right. This is on a big, beautiful bill, but I did look up genocide. Let me whip that out. Because I want you to see it. I want you to read it. Here we go. Let me pull my tab way over there so I can find it easier. I see I got some comments. I'm going to get over there in a second. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. There we go. Genocide. Basically, this is Wikipedia. You take it with a grain of salt, but genocide is violence that targets individuals because of their membership of a group and aims at the destruction of people. So you go over here. The United Nations defines, I don't want to get into the deepness of it, but here we go. Genocide. Title 18, which is the Federal Criminal Code. Code. Section 1091. 1091 of the 18 United States Code prohibits genocide, whether committed in a time of peace or time of war. Genocide is defined in Section 1091 and includes violent attacks with specific intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. Back that shit up, Floyd. Okay. Racial. Huh. Who are we? We're the human race. Oh, we're a race then of humans. There is a federal jurisdiction if the offense is committed within the United States. There's also federal extraterritorial jurisdiction when the offender is a national of the United States. I just want to break that off to you a little bit about what genocide looks like. We already know what the depopulation is. These are crimes against humanity, folks. These are some of the greatest crimes that you can commit. And we've got a lot of individuals running around out there that are genocidal maniacs. Okay? They've lost their touch with reality. Absolutely. Let me dive these comments. Hey, Crystal Shaman, how you doing? Trump tariff money. Yep, absolutely. You know, I had a person in Canada want to buy a book. You know, they didn't realize that I had ebooks and thought I was going to have to ship it to them. They're like, well, I don't know, what's the tariff? And I'm like, well, it was around $50. I think it was like 47, something like that. I have no idea what it is now. So, yeah, that's odd. Hey, David John. You did. You did catch a live. So I am over here doing it up. All right. Let me go back over to chat. Because personally, I thought, where did it go? I know I didn't close it out. Oh, there it is. All right. So I went in and asked it about the big, beautiful bill. And get my nasty ass out the way. Give you a black screen. All right. Let me get over here. So basically, I gave it, look, rules of the chat: don't mirror me, don't lie, don't hallucinate, stay on topic, do not provide an answer until prompted. Any questions? No questions. Ready when you are. Had Trump ordered a balanced budget in lieu of the big, beautiful bill? What are the difference of had he or had he not? Would you like me to explain the economic, political, constitutional differences first, or provide a full comparative overview? Now, before I continue, obviously, we're dealing with Chat GPT. My opinion only, artificial intelligence is the greatest liar in the world. The Holy Bible tells us who the greatest liar in the world is. You do the arithmetic. You're welcome to believe what you want to believe. Yes, by categories, please. Understood. Confirm. Would you like the categories to include economic, political, constitutional, and social public impact? Or should I add others? Example given: defense, infrastructure, debt, and currency stability as well. Yes, please answer. All right, here's the breakdown that would have differed if Trump had ordered a balanced budget instead of pursuing the big, beautiful bill, the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Well, if he was still president, why did he have to come back and do it in 2025 if he was president? Oh, that's right. He didn't take credit for any of that. All right. Number one, economic differences. If Trump had ordered a balanced budget, federal spending would have been severely restricted to match revenue, forcing immediate cuts to discretionary programs, including defense, welfare, and infrastructure. The economy might have experienced a short-term contraction as government stimulus, especially tax cuts and military spending, would be limited. Inflation would likely have been lower, and the national debt would have stabilized or declined. Business investment might have slowed without deficit-funded tax cuts, though long-term fiscal discipline could strengthen investor confidence and the U.S. dollar. Because he did not and passed the big, beautiful bill, the economy saw short-term GDP growth and stock market expansion due to lower corporate taxes and repatriation incentives. However, it also caused a ballooning deficit, adding nearly $2 trillion to the national debt. Inflationary pressures and widened income inequality followed as stimulus money favored corporations and the wealthy. Number two, political differences. If he had ordered the balanced budget, Trump would have faced intense resistance from both parties. Wow. What's going on right now? Oh. Republicans opposing cuts to defense and tax relief, Democrats opposing cuts to social safety programs. He might have been branded as fiscally authoritarian or anti-growth, undermining populist promises of jobs and prosperity. Internationally, fiscal restraint could have improved the U.S. credit rating and global fiscal credibility. Domestically, his political capital with working class voters who benefited from the stimulus optics might have weakened. Now, let me give you a little narrative on some of that in there. For one, he's a lame dunk president. That's it. By Constitution, he cannot seek a third term, although there may try. But look, Trump's old. He's starting to have medical issues. He's not the guy. All right. So he can pretty much do whatever the fuck he wants. Oh, sorry. I told you I was going to piss some people off. Y'all thought I was kidding. Because he did not, Trump earned support from corporations, Wall Street, and conservatives who favored tax reform. It became a major legislative victory for his administration. Long-term fiscal conservatives criticized the hypocrisy of ballooning the deficit under a Republican presidency. It strengthened his short-term popularity with business interests, but undermined fiscal conservatism as a Republican core value. Number 3, constitutional and legal differences. If he had ordered a balanced budget, the president does not have unilateral authority to impose a balanced budget. Only Congress controls appropriations. We know that. But the president can steer the ship. Attempting to order one could have triggered a constitutional clash over separation of powers. It might have forced the creation of a balanced budget amendment initiative invoking Article 5 processes or executive directives with limited enforcement power. This could have set precedent for executive fiscal control, altering the constitutional balance between branches. I thought we were putting a businessman in office to get this whole shit show of our economy, our fiscal responsibility as the world's reserve currency, all in check. Oh, yeah, right? He's coming in on this mighty white stallion to save the day. Fucking Q-tards. Y'all fell for it. Get over it. Accept the shame and blame and get over it. And change this country with you, not through a political party. Okay? It's the people coming together, like-minded people. We all want the same goddamn thing. And you people are fighting. You won't come to the table and talk. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's insane. You people are nuts. Y'all need rehab, therapy, what? I don't comprehend why you cannot get along with that assembly. Okay? Listen, if you were freaking smart, y'all all who need a place to go to find like-minded people who want to create their own de jure government, right? Not a de facto. Your ass would be hauling ass to freaking Oregon and join those 13 counties and tell those folks, oh shit, you've already done it. Here's what you should do, and guide them and create your own community. There's those people called sovereign citizens. I think there's a couple of them up there, in my opinion, allegedly. But don't tell the government that. Who do you think's up there doing that? Why do you think they want to secede from Oregon? You got no place to go. You're living in your car, living on hopes and dreams, or waiting on the RV or the crypto boom or whatever. Shag ass up there, man. Find a like-minded community and commune. And y'all create something. And hopefully it'll spread like wildfire across this country. I mean, it's just the stupidity just blows my mind. All right. And this pisses me off, because this country isn't great again. Is it greater now than it was a year ago? I mean, crime is just nuts. Nuts. They pretty much gave up here in Houston. We got dead bodies in bayous, 187 since 2017. Thousands of hit and runs. Thousands of hit and runs are not being investigated due to lack of personnel. Even ones where the suspect's car is left at the scene. They won't even run the plates in the VIN to find out who owned it and who could possibly have driven the car and injured this person and disabled them. Seriously. Now I was watching another clip last night, and these sexual assault victims are like, look, we did everything right. We got raped, sexually assaulted. We went to the hospital. We let somebody like dig in our things after we've been traumatized. We're traumatized again. Now we got to give you a full report. We're traumatized again. And, now we can't even get an investigation. This is what this world's coming to. It's already here. It's already happening. So what are they doing? They're putting up flock cameras everywhere. They're going to track everything you do, folks. Wake the fuck up. You're not going to like it when you can't get money out of your bank account because you're naughty. And you can't order that pizza online because you was naughty. You can't get that video from Netflix because you was naughty. You can't get gas because you was naughty because there's digital currency. Can't get on the bus. Can't do jack shit. Yeah. Y'all think I'm playing. This is what I mean by people are so stupid. It's so difficult for me to even talk to people. I have to dumb myself down to talk to people just on a normal conversation, unless we're talking about something technical specific, like, for me, work. Because sometimes, I'm definitely not the smartest guy in the fucking room, and I don't claim to be. Sometimes I don't even want to be. I want to be the dumbest motherfucker in the room. That way, they're not picking me for any kind of responsibility, but we're all making the same kind of money. It's not like, oh, you get a bonus. This is what's going on. So constitutional legal differences. If he had ordered a balanced budget, which we already went through. We already went through that one. All right. Because he did not. The standard budgetary process remained intact under the Budget Control Act framework. No constitutional conflicts emerged over fiscal authority. Executive power stayed within traditional limits, focusing on tax reform rather than direct fiscal control. Number 4, social and public impact. If he had ordered a balanced budget, federal agencies, especially health, housing, and education, housing, remember that black hole? Would have faced mass layoffs or service reductions. Didn't we just shut down the U.S. Department of Education? I thought so. Well, not much going on in health either. AI is going to take over everything, folks. That's why you see this massive layoff on the federal workforce. You just saw Amazon do a massive layoff. Guess who's next? Walmart. Stay tuned. Programs like Medicaid, SNAP. Where have I heard that lately? And Social Security would face restructuring or cuts, sparking public backlash. Rural and low-income regions reliant on federal aid would be hit hardest. Public trust in government fiscal responsibility might improve over time, but short-term pain would likely trigger protests or unrest. Like the No Kings thing. I don't know what they got with the Los Angeles and Sacramento Kings, man. What's up with that? Y'all got something against some sports teams or what? I don't know. These people are stupid. No Kings. We don't have a king, do we? If we had a king, he could do all this. He could tell him, hey, do that. Well, it's not. Hey, you, come here. Yeah, you with the sword. Off with his head. That's what kings do. Right? Because he did not. Social services were largely untouched in the short term. Economic growth and stock market gains created an illusion of prosperity. The middle and lower classes saw limited long-term benefit as corporate tax advantages did not trickle down effectively, and they never fucking do. You remember Ronald Reagan? Most of you are not old enough. Trickle down economics. This is nothing new in the playbook, folks. They're selling you wolf tickets and you're buying by the dozen. Stop. The stupidity is rampant. What happened to people? What happened, people? I always thought I was the dumbest motherfucker in school. Square business. I mean, I just thought, I had no idea what was going on. I never studied for a test, didn't even read a book till I went to prison. Didn't read Tale of Two Cities like everybody else did. And somehow I graduated. I think they just didn't want me back. It's like, nah. That was the craziest motherfucker we ever had here. Yeah, pretty much. Rising national debt increased vulnerability to future economic shocks, inflation, and currency devaluation. Okay, folks? Number 5, defense infrastructure and debt stability. If he had ordered a balanced budget, defense spending would likely have been reduced or frozen, contradicting Trump's rebuild the military promise. Promises. Promises made, promises kept. Infrastructure plans like Infrastructure Week would have been unfunded or delayed. What the hell was Infrastructure Week? I missed that one. Long-term debt stability would have improved dramatically, potentially averting future debt ceiling crises. Oh, yeah, we're fixing to hit those. Then Congress will be dealing with, we got a debt ceiling crisis. We got to raise the debt ceiling. So we need to have a meeting about it to decide if we can pick a committee to investigate it. I get drunk and all right. Interest payments on national debt would decline, saving hundreds of billions of dollars. Hold on. Interest payments on national debt would decline, saving hundreds of billions over time. Because he did not. Defense spending increased significantly, benefiting the military industrial base. Infrastructure plans were largely talked about, but unfunded due to the lost revenue from tax cuts. Oh, hang on. Back that ass up, Floyd. Oh, Afghanistan, 2020. Hold on. Wasn't Trump president? Oh, but he doesn't take credit for any of that. Okay. But that happened under his... I'm confused. Are you? Because he did not. Defense spending increased. Infrastructure plans were largely talked about but unfunded due to the lost revenue from tax cuts. The national debt surpassed $22 trillion by 2019. Okay? Just a mere 6 years ago, folks, it was $22 trillion. It's getting ready to double that. All right? It's getting ready to double that. This is unsustainable. I don't know how this can keep going. The national debt surpassed $22 trillion by 2019 with growing interest burdens. The U.S. fiscal position weakened entering the 2020 pandemic, limiting flexibility for emergency spending. Here's a summary comparison table, and it just gives you a blah, 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 blah. Here's a hypothetical balanced budget. Basically what we went over, it just gives you a little bullet points. Would you like me to extend this analysis to show the 2020 to 2025 downstream effects, e.g. inflation, pandemic spending, interest rate impact, and I didn't even ask for it, BRICS currency implications? If you don't know what BRICS is, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, consortium of other countries moving to de-dollarize so they do not have to buy, sell, or trade their natural resources, i.e. gas, oil, natural gas, whatever, in petrodollars, in Federal Reserve notes, in U.S. dollars. So let me give you a little brief synopsis about BRICS. BRICS currently has its own financial system, like SWIFT. They have their own digital currency. They have their own currency. Oh, yeah. It's already printed. I've already seen a 100, whatever they want to call it, brick note. Absolutely. Published it on this show. That's India and China, the two largest populated continents in the world, folks. And believe me, there's not a shit ton of dummies over in India. Those people are bright. They're smart. They're just overpopulated. That's their problem. But they're probably coming to see you soon. All they need is a gold card. Oh, yeah. Answer. Nice. Below I'll map the 2025 downstream effects. Here you go. Category by category. Inflation 2021 to 2023. Real world anchor. U.S. headline inflation surged, peaking in mid 2022 around 9.1% per year over year for CPI in June 2021, then decelerating through 2023 and 2024. If a balanced budget had been enforced earlier, 2017 onward, less fiscal stimulus capacity going into the pandemic, smaller deficits before 2020 would have limited the fiscal payload available in 2021 or forced much more targeted relief. With smaller pandemic-era stimulus or offsetting cuts, aggregate demand would likely have been weaker. That reduces the magnitude of the post-pandemic demand boom that contributed to the 2021-2022 inflation. Net effect, lower peak inflation in 2021-2022, perhaps faster normalization, all else equal. What happened? Large fiscal support, CARES Act, and follow-ups, together with supply shocks, contributed to the inflation spike. The CARES Act was about $2.2 trillion, with total federal COVID response obligations run into multiple trillions because deficits were already larger after the 2017 tax cuts. The physical space question influenced how aggressive stimulus was designed and financed. Pandemic spending, we already covered that. And we already know about the PPP scams, interest rates, and monetary policy interaction. This is where the Fed raised the rates instead of lowering the rates. We're paying for it now. Debt creditworthiness, fiscal headroom, 2020 to 2025, real world anchor. Debt held by the public rose into the mid 20 trillion range. Did you hear that? Debt by the public rose to the about 20 trillion range by 2023, 2024. By 2025, total gross national debt reached new records. If a balanced budget had been enforced, the debt trajectory entering the pandemic would have been lower. Smaller pre-existing deficits mean more headroom for emergency borrowing without pushing debt to GDP as high. But same stuff. What actually happened, larger pre-pandemic deficits plus pandemic borrowing pushed the U.S. debt much higher. Y'all already know that. Y'all are living this, so I really don't have to tell you what, because he didn't. You're living it. You see it when you go to the grocery store. You fill up your tank with gas and diesel. Absolutely. You go out to eat. Used to you get like a burger, fries, drink combo meal under $10. Now I don't think you can find one anywhere under $10. Interest burden and private investment knock-on effects. I'm not going to dive into that. Geopolitics and the dollar. BRICS, de-dollarization risks, 2020, 2025, real world anchor. BRICS, discussions about alternatives, settlements in local currencies, proposals for BRICS mechanisms or common instrument continued through 2023, 2025. Geopolitical moves and summit statements raised de-dollarization talk, prompting political responses. If balanced budget had been in place, stronger fiscal position and lower deficits would have reduced perceived risk that the U.S. was over-leveraging its reserve currency role, helping dollar credibility. The U.S. would have been more politically and economically insulated from pressure if BRICS members made moves to shift trade settlement away from the dollar. Let me tell you who else is part of that little old thing called BRICS. Venezuela, Iran. Yep. There's just a couple. We already know the actual path. Growing deficits and political tensions gave opponents talking points on the dollar's durability. BRICS members pursued limited alternatives, bilateral currency swaps, local settlement. While a full replacement of the dollar remains unlikely, political frictions and active BRICS initiatives have increased long-run strategic risk to dollar dominance. Responses from U.S. policymakers, including threats of tariffs, reflect geopolitical salience. Now, let me just give you a little narrative on that, okay? These countries are very anxious, to say the least, about the current debt of the United States, and it's just runaway accountability. And the fact that the Trump family is so involved with cryptocurrency. Absolutely. Because Russia thinks that, and it's going to happen. We're basically already on a digital currency because, I don't have my wallet on me. I move that dollar. But every dollar has a serial number. And now if you look at them, they have 3 alpha characters to go with the serial number. Most of you don't even remember when it was just a number. Numerical characters. There were no alpha characters on the bills. Now you got all kind of stuff on it, little bitty letters everywhere, and yeah. There's that much funny money around where they just keep creating different series. It's nuts. So these countries don't want to get stuck holding $1 trillion worth of debt or even $1 billion worth of debt of useless securities belonging to the U.S. Treasury because the Treasury wrapped it all into crypto. This is what I talk about abolishing the Fed. Everybody's like, oh, the IRS is going away. Nope, still here. All of it's still here. And I'm going to wrap this up. But here's the short practical summary, which we already went through. The caveats and uncertainty. Want me to convert this to visual timeline? Y'all can pause this and read it if you want. Y'all don't realize how this credit bubble that the world operates on, this fiat financial system. How much would drivers save per week if federal gas and diesel taxes were rescinded? And right here, the federal gas tax, which is 18.5 cents per gallon, were rescinded. A driver would save, and this is if you're driving about 13,500 miles per year, which is about 260 miles per week. You would save $2.41 a week. If your car got 20 miles per gallon, $1.92 if you got 25, $1.60 if you got 30. For heavy diesel road haulage, example, a class 8 semi doing 62,000 miles per year. They would save 24.5 cents a gallon. They would see savings of $48.50 if a truck averages 6 miles per gallon. Golly, I can't even imagine driving a truck that gets 6 miles per gallon. That's just insanity. 6 miles per gallon. Wow. That's crazy. All right. 41.50 if it's 7, 36.37 if it's 8. How I got those numbers? Boom, here they are. It's all ChatGPT. So it doesn't seem much for the average driver. saving $2.41 a week. Most people, could lose that in their pockets in their car. Not per week, but you know what I mean. Then, like if you have a hybrid or something, Toyota, Honda, one of those cars get great gas mileage, $6 a month. That's really not going to make a big impact on you. But if you do drive for a living for Uber or Lyft or delivery service or anything else, you got to drive. I've got my coworker today. She lives in Beaumont and she drives an hour and a half to come to Houston to work. And she's been busting ass with me every day. And some days we work, 12, 14 hours. And you get to be right back the next day. So God bless her. But yeah, for people like her who have a long commute to work, you would see an impact immediately. There's so many things that Trump could have done, hasn't done. It's just breathtaking to me that people don't push for more accountability with all those folks. You see Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's become disenchanted. There's some of these conservative gurus that are kind of getting the picture. I know Tucker Carlson's getting the picture. He used to think, oh, this is a great country. It's run well, blah, 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 blah. Now he's like, oh, my God. We've lost our country. That's basically where he's at. And he was just with the president of the United States, or his body double. I didn't say that. I proved it. In fact, I just put that on the Telegram. But before I leave, on the 15th of this month, Ann LaFleur will be doing a new presentation for trust accounting. So if you would like to learn how to operate your trust like a pro, which is a free ebook you will get if you take the class, as well as the trust accounting book, and a free Excel template. And all you got to do is just plug your stuff in and boom, you're operational. And I think she has multiple templates. If you'd like to see them, go to my store, thefearlessfloydshow.com/store. Go check out Ann's new books. Everybody who buys a book now, doesn't matter what book you buy, you get added to the private Telegram room, Ann's Book Club. Yep. So that way we're consolidating everybody, because if you have questions, Ann's there for you. I'm there for you. I don't play around too much on Telegram. I have probably 24 rooms in there now. I'm not the police. I don't police these rooms. They're your rooms. I create them for you to associate with your peers, to learn more, and to excel. That's all we're after. So I've got the trust accounting class. I'm going to do some classes too, definitely on wills, okay? Because I want to do a class for everybody where you can create your will, and we will go through it step by step, and I will show you how to create a fraud-proof, bulletproof will that nobody can mess with. Okay, that was the girl I was working with. Her daddy had a trust. And guess who the executor was? Or that's what they called him. And I had to correct her. You mean the trustee? Yeah, I guess that's what you call it. Yeah, well, the trustee decided he was going to be trustee and beneficiary. Where have you heard that before? And she was telling me about, it's what my mother wanted. I go, no. It's your mother's will for her heirs and her beneficiaries. So she didn't even know the right terminology. She didn't even know I knew anything about trusts. But I published a book, had done classes. I've operated my own trust since 2018. I've been doing this a long time, folks. So if that's something you're interested in, it's $150. It's on the 15th. You get 2 free ebooks, Run Your Trust Like a Pro, the Trust Accounting ebook, as well as the Excel spreadsheet, could be plural, so don't hold me to that. The books are $49 each, so there's $100 right there. Boom, you get the class and the Excel spreadsheets. If you're not very Excel friendly, all for you. Here it is. Let me show it to you. And here's a video I did earlier this morning for you guys from the Tucker Carlson interview. Go watch it. Yep. Don't take my word for it. Go listen to the horse talk. Okay. I'm just a moron sitting in front of his laptop. I don't know jack shit. I'm stupid. Okay. Go do your own research. Fact check everything I tell you. If you find something that I misstated, I'm incorrect, you think it's a falsehood, jam me up. fearlessfloydshow@yahoo.com. Or, as you know, you can call me. Go get my number off my website. And YouTube, all my social media. If you're in Canada, New Zealand, Australia, you need a trust, hit me up. We've got them. The Canadian trust is in the store. New Zealand and Australia are not yet, but they will be. I'm not going to do an outro. I'm just going to run through this stuff for you guys real quick. So if you want to skedaddle now before I run through these thumbnails, you're more than welcome to do that. I'm not tripping at all. Y'all have a safe, happy weekend. God bless you. Come back. See me on my next show. Don't know when I'm going to do it. I know I'm, like I said, I'm slammed till the 12th. Then I'm off after that. So I may set up some interviews for the 13th, the 14th, 15th, 16th. I know I'm working on the 17th. So I've got some people that want to come on the show. And I have another super soldier that wants to come on the show. I had her on briefly. Some other people I would definitely want to talk to. Tanawa. He had a medical issue, and I believe he's back on the road. So I'd definitely like to get him and Jessica back on to just do another presentation that we just couldn't get at that time. So thank you, everybody. Good night. I'm going to go have fun at my high school reunion. I know. I don't even remember my senior year, but apparently they would like me there. I don't know why. But anyway, thank you, everybody. Good night.